Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a disinfect with me. For those of you who don't know, it is different to a clean with me. So a clean with me, you're generally just wiping the surfaces, getting rid of dust and bacteria and things like that. You're just moving it off the surface. You're not actually killing the virus or the bacteria that is on there. A disinfect with me is literally wiping all your surfaces everywhere in your house that has been touched and killing those viruses and those bacteria that is there. So that's what this video is. I'm going to disinfect all the surfaces in my house. The only room you won't see me disinfect in this video is my son and my daughter's room, and that is because they don't really go in their room that often, and also their room is completely clean, disinfected and already done because they're hardly ever in there and they sleep in with me and my partner at the moment. We are in the transition of moving them in, just not quite yet. So I will not be showing that room in this video, but the whole rest of my house you will see me disinfecting and killing all the viruses that could already be there, and I want to get rid of them all. So none of me and my family have actually been bad or anything yet, so this isn't, I suppose, post sickness for any of us, but I just wanted to make sure that we haven't got anything in the house and it is nice and clean for us if we do get quarantined, or if we do go on lockdown or anything like that, that the whole house is disinfected and it is clean for us to be in lockdown in. So, as you can see, I am starting off in my living room. My living room is already clean, like I said, and I'm going to start off with the toy storage unit. So, this toy storage unit is a place where it's really highly touched by Carter. For those of you who don't know, that's my son. All of his toys are on here. He pulls off all the toys all the time. And I just wanted to give it a good disinfect. I'm also going to wipe down all of his display toys that go on here because they are the things that he touches the most. With his display toys, I'm not using my diluted bleach mix. I'm going to use my Zoflora to do this because it is not as harsh. And obviously I don't want him to put toys in his mouth or anything like that with bleach in it because it's really harsh, whereas the Zoflora isn't as harsh. Once again, he's not going to put any of the toys in his mouth anyway. He's really grown out of that. But Zoflora I feel is much safer for our children rather than bleach. So that's what I did there. All nice and clean, disinfected. All of his toys are disinfected, and so is the whole unit. So then I'm going to move on to my windowsill. So the reason being I am disinfecting this is because Carter also touches up here when he climbs on top of his other toy box. So I'm going to pull everything off, I'm going to wipe it all down, disinfect it, and for this I'm now moving on to my bleach and water dilution mix. It's because this is obviously stronger. So I'm going to wipe over the whole unit. I'm also going to wipe the handles to the doors. So don't forget to do this, guys, because this is a place that you were touching all the time. If you're opening the windows, any bacteria that is there, you want to kill it and get rid of it. So wipe over the handles to your doors, your mirrors, your windows, your windows. Make sure that they're all nice and clean. And as well, I'm just going to wipe over anything that goes on the windowsill as well, just to make sure that that is clean as well. But yeah, that's all disinfected then and nice and clean. Moving on to my fireplace. So this is a highly touched place by Carter once again. So as you can see, I'm really focusing on the places that my son and my children touch. Mainly because they are my first priority. I just want them to be safe. So obviously he doesn't touch on top of the fireplace. That's where me and my partner tend to put things. My partner comes home and the first thing he does is put his wallet and everything on top of the fireplace. So I'm giving that a good wipe over. I'm also wiping over the TV. We turn the TV on with the buttons on the side of the TV. We don't use a controller. So I'm just going to wipe that over. I also went ahead and wiped over the whole TV just to be extra cautious. But then moving on to the bottom, this is where Carter touches the most with his sticky fingers all the time. He also likes to put his toys and stand in here all the time as well. So I gave this a good disinfect, killed any bacteria that was on there, any viruses that may have been there, and wiped them all away. Moving on to the little unit that holds the Xbox. This again is another highly touched place. Carter just loves to play with this as well. So I wiped it over, I wiped the unit over itself and made sure that it was all nice and clean. And then I'm just going to move on to my sofas. So I pulled my cushion covers off the cushions and then realised that my velvet cushion covers didn't come off, so I couldn't wash those. So what I decided to do was I went back to my Zaflora mix and I sprayed and wiped over my couch with the Zaflora mix as well as my cushions. Obviously I wasn't going to use my diluted bleach mix on my sofa for obvious reasons, but yeah, I just gave it a good wipe over, a good disinfect, and you know, at least this killed any viruses and anything like that that was on there. Obviously Zaflora, diluted Zaflora is still a disinfectant. I would just say bleach is a stronger disinfectant to kill viruses and things like that, but it still does the job obviously. So now on to the other sofa. I didn't show me wiping down the sofa because you already just see me do it, but I took off the cushion covers, sprayed the cushions and things like that. I also wanted to wipe over my lamp, and the reason being I went and wiped this over is because I touch this lamp quite a lot because I always move it about, but at least now any viruses that are on it were disinfected. Please guys as well, remember to wipe over your door handles and your light switches because they are the most touched places in your house. Obviously turning on and off the lights and things like that, you want to make sure that they're disinfected because they're touched all the time. But I also wanted to wipe off my daughter's jumperoo, so again I'm not using the bleach on this, I'm using the diluted Zaflora. So I'm giving it a good wipe down, making sure that it's all disinfected. I also went ahead and I took off the seat, like the seat cover, and I put that in the wash as well on a high wash to make sure that any germs or anything were completely out and gone. But then this is all nice and clean as well and disinfected, which I was really happy about. But yeah, that's the living room, completely done and disinfected, all nice and clean and germ free. Now onto the kitchen. So as you can see, the kitchen is generally still clean, but it just needs a good disinfect. Obviously this is the place where we prep food. I made the children's bottles and everything in here, so I wanted to make sure that this was really germ free and any viruses were gone. So I'm going to start off with my countertops. I'm also going to wipe the splashback and the tiles because if I'm making slow cooker meals or I've got the fryer on, a lot of stuff just splashes back onto the wall, so I want to make sure that was clean as well. So I'm still using the same mix, I'm still using the bleach and the water. I'm not using the Zaflora here because obviously the bleach is a stronger disinfectant, I would say, just to do this and kill germs. So another good disinfectant as well, if you're looking guys, is the Dettol. I actually ran out of my Dettol, which I was pretty devastated about because obviously it's got on the back that it kills coronavirus, but it doesn't kill the COVID-19, which is obviously the one that is killing people. But it, you know, along the lines, it kills things that are connected to it. So but anyway, bleach still does the same. Obviously it may not kill like the exact things that Dettol does, but it is still a really good disinfectant and it will kill any viruses that are in your house. So I'm going to wipe over my my toaster. I'm going to wipe over all of the utensils as well. Make sure that when you wipe your toaster that you are getting the handles which you push down to put the toast into the toaster, sorry, the bread into the toaster, because they are the highly touched place on your toaster as well. I'm going to wipe over my microwave. I'm not going to wipe inside because I've already done that and if this video would be way too long. But make sure the handle, the button and all the rest of the buttons on the microwave are wiped over really well and disinfected. In your kitchen as well, make sure that your door handles to your cupboards, your drawers or anything like that are disinfected well because you're always opening them and everything like that. So you want to make sure that any germs or bacteria that was on them is killed and has been removed, so you don't catch it back onto your hands when you open them again. So I also didn't wipe over my cooker in this video because I had already done that, but I am still again wiping the splashback behind my cooker just to make sure that there's no bacteria on there, and again my cupboards and the door handles. Another one that is highly touched, if you are like me, a coffee person or tea or anything like that, is your tea, coffee and sugar jars. You're always touching them, so make sure that they're really good and disinfected. I'm also even disinfected my syrups, the lids on my syrups, because I every single morning add some vanilla syrup into my coffee So I wanted to wipe those over well. I also just wiped over my daughter's baby milk, the lid of it, because obviously I'm opening that every 3 hours. So it was most probably a highly disinfected place or that gathered germs. So again, wiping over the plug sockets where I turn my oven on, the kettle's plugged in, making sure that's all clean. So moving on to this side of my kitchen. So I had some stuff out on the counter here, so I just putting them all away. That container that you can see there with all the clothes in is just some clothes that need to go into the washing machine, so I just put them in that container and put them on the counter. But I'm just going to move everything off now, and I wanted to show you this, guys. I finally found the new Zaflora. It's the Midnight Blooms Zaflora, which apparently smells like alien, and oh my goodness, guys, it really does. And that is the Zaflora that I used to wipe over my children's toys and the sofas, and now they smell amazing, so I can't wait to use that on more places as well. But I'm just wiping over the counter. I'm also wiping over the boiler because I always pull down that little flap there to reset the boiler and things like that. Don't forget all the plugs. I've also wiped over the washing machine, all the dials and everything, and also the door handle to the washing machine. So then to the other half of my kitchen, the kitchen table. We very rarely sit at the kitchen table. We tend to eat our dinner and everything in the living room. So I was just going to give this a general disinfect as well, because it's still there and it's still a place that gathers germs. So I wiped over everything that was on there, and I also wiped over the chairs really quick. And I also wanted to wipe over my fridge because you open it and close it all the time, so there's fingerprints, there's germs, and you just want to kill them and get rid of them all so they're not there anymore. But yeah, this was basically all I did in the kitchen. I also mopped over the floor. I also give my rugs a really good disinfect and a big wash on my washing machine. So what I did was I put them on a really high wash and made sure that they were completely disinfected and all germ free, because I do have dogs as well. But other than that, that was the kitchen completely disinfected and nice and clean, bacteria and virus free. Alright, now onto my hallway. So here, obviously, this is where everybody comes in and out. So I'm wiping over this table. This is a place that if when Cara comes into the house or he's ever going upstairs to go to bed, he will always touch something that is on this table. So I'm just wiping it over. I'm also going to wipe over the radiator. Just to, we dry clothes in the radiator. I just wanted to make sure that it was clean. Extra cautious, I guess. I also wiped over the vase that my fake flowers were in. I sprayed the flowers again, just to make sure there was no, dust or germs that had fallen on top of the flowers. I wiped over the candles because Carter loves to grab these as well. Don't forget as well to wipe over your door into your house. Any locks or anything that are on it, make sure you wipe them over, because you obviously lock them in the morning, in the night, whenever you leave. So they're highly touched, as well as any plugs or switches. Wipe them over as well. I'm also going to wipe over my mirror here because at the bottom half where Carter can touch, there's always fingerprints, so I just wiped those off and disinfected and killed any germs that were on there. Again, here is another place that Carter can't quite reach yet, but he does touch the edge, so I just wiped that over. Again, don't forget to wipe the railing up to your stairs if you've got one, because if you hold on to it, you're putting germs on there. Make sure you want to get them off and kill the viruses. Again, with door handles to windows, make sure you wipe them as well. So what I'm doing here is just spraying some of the bleach onto the carpet. Obviously this isn't going to do anything to my carpets because it's not as strong, but I just wanted to spray a little bit on just to disinfect them, and then I was going to go over and hoover them, which I did, and then I'm going to spray my Fabulosa just to make it smell nice. Also, it does disinfect and get rid of smells and odours and things like that as well. But that was basically my hallway done. It didn't really take much. I also wanted to hoover the sides of my stairs because, again, dust and everything. Every time you're walking up the stairs, there's dust, there's germs, everything gathers on the sides. So make sure you just hoover those over or give them a good wipe over as well. onto the bathroom. So like I said, my bathroom has already been cleaned. Now it's to disinfect the bathroom. So I'm going to start off with the toilet. I'm going to give the toilet a good disinfect. I'm going to use my duck. This is in the scent mint. I'm going to put that all in there and leave it sit for a good couple of hours. This will disinfect the toilet, make sure and get rid of any dirt, grime and anything like that. I'm also going to wipe over with the diluted bleach, wipe the whole toilet seat over, the top of the seat, everything like that, to make sure there's no germs or viruses. Again, the toilet roll holder, make sure you wipe that. That's a highly touched place in your bathroom, as well as the back and the chain to the toilet. You want to make sure you wipe that, because obviously you're pulling that and touching that every time you go to the toilet. So I wiped over the place where all my children's toys get kept. Obviously they're getting pulled out of the bath, in the bath and things like that. So I wiped those over. I wiped over the handles to the window and the window itself. With the bath, I literally just sprayed loads and loads of my bleach over this and wiped it over really, really well. And I left it dry. The most important part is when you're disinfecting, to make sure that when you've wiped a surface, to leave it dry on its own, because otherwise it isn't doing its job. It isn't disinfecting the area if you don't leave it dry. So I also went ahead and wiped over my shower. I also, do you know when you turn on, adjust the heat and everything like that to your shower, make sure you wipe that over as well. And then onto the sink, I again literally sprayed this loads in the diluted bleach mix, wiped everything over, really disinfected it well. I'd already cleaned my mirror, so I didn't go ahead and disinfect that because it's not touched at all. Obviously it's just to see yourself in. So I put that back because it was already clean. Another place is, if you've got like these dangly light switches, make sure that you just give them a wipe over, because it'll just kill any viruses that are on there. Because they're fabric as well, you can't really do much with them, but if you just wipe them down with the cloth that you're using and with the obviously the solution that you use, it'll disinfect them. So then moving on to the floor, I just sprayed my bleach down and give it a good mop, and then put my rug down. My rug again had already been washed on a really high wash, and I also wanted to spray this again with my Gold Touch, which is the Fabulosa. I also sprayed it with the bleach, and I also hoovered it, but I forgot to add that clip in. I also give the radiator a quick wipe over as well, because Kat tends to touch that. But other than that, that is the bathroom completely disinfected and virus and germ free. Alright, so onto the bedroom. So first thing, change your sheets. These are the old sheets. Get rid of your old sheets and some new sheets. So changing your sheets obviously is a big thing into getting rid of viruses and bacteria. Fresh sheets, before you put your sheets on, spray the bed with disinfectant, spray your sheets, spray everything with disinfectant as well when you're putting it on, and you know, it'll smell good, it'll feel fresh, and it will be disinfected. So then onto the surfaces, I'm wiping over my desk. Again, I'm not wiping the mirror because it's already been cleaned, but the surface itself of my desk, I'm wiping over. I'm also moving things to wipe them. I wiped over my seat because obviously you sit in there, you hold the edges and things like that. Wipe that over, get the germs away. My little unit here, I wiped over this. Again, this is a glass unit. The front of the drawers are glass. I wiped them over as well, but obviously not in this video. And then the side table, this is somewhere that Cara loves to play because he loves playing with all the sprays and everything like that. He likes to count them, so I also just gave them a quick wipe over because he's handling them all the time, so I wanted to make sure that they were clean. Spray the curtains and the radiator and everything like that as well, because you're putting clothes on there to dry. My son, if you've got any toddlers as well, you know, they touch the radiators because it's around their height. Spray those, spray the curtains because you're going to disinfect them of bacteria. Again, don't forget to wipe your light switches, your plugs, anything like that, because again, you're touching them all the time. But other than that, this whole room was done as well. Really quick, really easy, but it is now completely virus-free, disinfected and nice and clean. And I don't have to worry about there being any, you know, bugs or anything like that that we can catch in these rooms. The last place that I'm going to disinfect is my landing. So I wanted to give the banister and everything a good wipe over here, hoover the floor, disinfect the window and everything like that. So that's what I'm going to start off with. I'm going to wipe over the windowsill, wipe the handles to the window as well. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe over my banister. So obviously you hold on to this. My son holds on to the little bars here, which I'm wiping now. So I just wanted to wipe those over, get all the dust off the bottom, and make sure that this was clean and disinfected as well. And I'm also now going to hoover the floor. So what I did before this, which I didn't get myself doing, which was spraying the floor again with the disinfectant. This is just gonna, get rid of any viruses that are harbored in the carpet, and it is also gonna make the house smell nice as well because you're hoovering it up. But yeah, just hoover it, and then I'm gonna go over it again with the Gold Touch Fabulosa, which will also make the house smell amazing. So again, don't forget guys to wipe over your plugs and your switches. I can't stress that enough. Because they are most probably the most touched thing in your house, because you're turning the lights on all the time, you're plugging things in to get them to work and everything like that. So it's really important that you do disinfect them. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I really hope that you did enjoy. Please all stay safe, and please don't worry too much. Please don't panic, and just remember that my channel is here for you guys to come and relax and just try not to worry. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.